It is Friday night at the University of Tampa, and we are just about to get underway with tonight's game in the first of the series between your University of Tampa Spartans and the Post Eagles, who are coming into town from the Northeast to kick off their 2026 season. Robert Satin will get the go-ahead here on Friday night, but before we talk more about Tampa's ace, let's introduce ourselves in the booth. I'm Taylor Storley, joined tonight by Landon Wise. Landon, welcome to the booth. How excited are you for Tampa weekend baseball?
Thank you so much. I'm excited. First time doing this, and this is gonna be quite a ball game. And I'm excited for some action. And
It should be a good time. Let's give you a post-starting lineup as we lead into the game. They'll have the true freshman making his debut, leading off against Satin, the center fielder, Kevin Diaz. After Diaz, it'll be Joey Cohen, followed by Jesse Alfala, the returning junior. Graduate transfer Andrew Hartman bats fourth, with Maiko Cardona batting fifth. Jaron Foster bats sixth, Hunter Keller seventh, Manny Contreras eighth, and graduate shortstop Evan Cornwell rounds out the order. There are 4 returning players in the starting lineup for Post, with 5 players that have either come in or are brand new freshmen, but it is a lineup with experience for a Post team who is looking to improve on a 500 record they had in 2025. But on the mound for the Spartans, Robert Satin turned a lot of heads on the Friday night season opener. He started with a bang, striking out 8 of the 8 batters he faced to start the ballgame. He finished with 12 Ks and 1 hit allowed to give him 9 innings, 2 hits, and 16 strikeouts for the season. He's been lethal on the mound, and he'll get started in his 3rd game of the year. First pitch to Diaz, strike 1 on the corner. Love to see Satin getting to work early with that strike. He has grown a lot in the offseason, turning from a guy that Tampa could rely on as a long reliever and a spot starter here and there into a true bona fide ace. 1-1, that one missing away. 69 degrees. Will get a little bit cooler as the game continues here at U Tampa. 1-1 on the way from Satin. Hits the zone, 1-2. I really like this approach from Diaz in this at-bat. It's his first career collegiate at-bat. He's going against one of the best arms in the nation, but he's patient. He's letting him pitch to him.
Absolutely.
He's not being too aggressive, but he might have to protect here. The 1-2, swing and a miss, and well, I guess you could have predicted that the first at-bat would be a strikeout.
Absolutely.
First strikeout for Satin. That is number 17 on the season. And I don't think anyone's expecting him to strike out the first 8 like he did last time out, but he does get started with the K right here. The junior, Joey Cohen, steps up to the plate. First pitch from Satin. That one line foul, make it 0-1. Believe it or not, I don't think, looking back onto that Friday matchup against Montevallo, that the Montevallo offense was able to get a foul ball until the 2nd inning. That is how dominant Satin was, although there is a first pitch foul ball there. Make it 0-1. A little bit high. That one was close, but the call will go the way of Cohen, the left fielder. Make it 1-1 on the count. Satin low and inside. Might be a tight strike zone today from home plate umpire Stephen Love. We've got Gary Glover out as the first base umpire. I imagine these two will be here throughout the weekend for this series. 2-1 on the way from Satin. High and inside. Actually forcing Cohen to back away from the plate. 3-1 on deck is the veteran, Jesse Alfala. There are 2 left-handed batters in the Post lineup. Hartman will step into the on-deck circle after this at-bat. 3-1 from Satin. That one fouled away, and that brings the count full. Looking back to that Friday night matchup, Satin did not see a full count in the entirety of his 5 innings last week. But here he is, 3-2 to Cohen, who has worked a very strong at-bat against Tampa's ace. Payoff pitch. Line foul again. 3rd one he's taken to the right. He's got some good pop behind those foul balls, but just can't put it in play. It won't be Hartman on deck. It'll be Alfala waiting in the wings. Will the righty get a runner, or will he have the bases empty and a second out of the frame? Payoff pitch, second time from Satin. That one ripped to the right field. It's going all the way back to the wall, but caught on the warning track. Evans gets there in time. So as expected, no 8 strikeouts to start the game today, but he does work his way out of a tough 3-1 count to get out number 2. Alfala will step up to the plate. He hit .347 last season with Post, putting up 21 RBIs. The Post offense was pretty good last year. They hit .309 as a team. They had some difficulties on the mound, a 6.65 team ERA as the count goes 1-0. Satin can't buy a strike to save his life here in those early at-bats. Definitely wonder how Justin Portes, who will be the starter for Post, might be feeling, seeing a lot of these close calls go the way of the batter. 1-0 on the way to Alfala. 1-1. This time Uruguayan pulls it into the zone. Uruguayan, part of a few different Spartans with some big home runs last weekend. He's been the battery mate the entire season for the starters. Third time he's working with Satin so far. Strike 2. That one right down Main Street. 1-2 from Satin. He'd love another strikeout to end the frame. But can the returning junior put something in play to force Tampa's defense to get back to work? 1-2 on the way. Outside. Good take as that fastball slipped just outside. We saw Montevallo pretty aggressive against Satin early on with a lot of swings and misses. Opposite approach from Post. And you think it's going to be a benefit for Coach Skold, seeing his team not be too worrisome, as he does go around on a check swing. Strike 3, inning over. Half-hearted attempt on the low and inside heater. And after a pretty hard-hit flyout, Satin ends the first with his second strikeout with a quick start to the ball game. Bottom of the first. Tampa get
Four, two, one.
So the warm-up continues for Justin Portes. He'll make his first start of the season to open for Post. Taylor Storley, Landon Wise on the call. Great start, though, for Satin for the Spartans. What do you want to see out of Tampa's offense, though, for this first inning?
Oh, man, I just really love to see some base hits and just a great start. One hitter at a time, and just, this is a still long game ahead. And, just like I said, one batter at a time, and just keep it simple, you know.
That's exactly what Tampa's offense does best. They've got players that know how to set the table. It'll definitely be a tough test for Portes as he continues his warm-up. We'll give a full intro to the senior in a moment, but for now, here's your Tampa Spartans starting 9. Jordan Evans leads off yet again. He was the leadoff man in each of the 3 games last weekend. He's out in right field and batting first today. Jesse Ponce, the very exciting transfer who has been at shortstop playing great defense and offense, bats second, with Braden Woodburn, the returning veteran, batting third. Jake Books bats fourth, with Yoander Irigoyen batting fifth. Walker Vanacek is back at first base, batting sixth. Javi Soto bats seventh. A.J. Graham, with 2 home runs on Sunday, is batting eighth at the hot corner. And Maddox King returns to the lineup, batting ninth. On paper, Portes definitely didn't have a great 2025 season. And looking at the numbers, you can take a guess where it came from. 26 walks in 19 innings alongside 26 strikeouts. It contributed to a 10.07 ERA. Coach Skold mentioned that on paper, it's definitely not a stat line you want to see, But he mentioned that Portis is a hard worker, and he's been grinding over the offseason. After having a 2025 campaign where he was still getting back in form, returning from an injury he suffered in 2024, this will be the first time he gets to truly shine, but he has to do it against a dangerous Tampa offense. Strike one to open the day against Evans. And Evans is off to a hot start of the season. 0-1, Portis to Evans. Popped up. And that should be an easy first out. Keller tracking it down. He'll make the catch as Evans was already halfway to second. And that will bring Jesse Ponce up to the plate. 2 home runs on the year, tied for the Tampa lead. He was the only Spartan to go yard on their road trip against Georgia College 2 weekends ago. A 2-game doubleheader to start the season. Tampa took both. They entered today 5-0, continuing a 7-game win streak from the national championship last year. 1-0, low and in. High and outside, it'll be 2-0 to Ponce. Coach Urso was singing Ponce's praises pregame when I had a chance to catch up with him. One thing he mentioned is that Tampa, when they brought Ponce in, were ready for him to be a very good guy at the top of the order. Someone who could get on contact with good swings, singles, doubles, and bunts. But on the side, he has showcased some really nice pop, which is a bonus to his already very talented repertoire on offense. He's going to flare that one the other way, but it's foul to bring the count 2-2. So he'll continue to showcase not just his great grit at that second base spot in the lineup, whether it's laying down some sneaky bunts to beat throws to first base for bunt singles, but he can also take the ball deep. 2-2 though for Portis. High and away, ball 3. Braden Woodburn awaits on deck. Base is empty for the Tampa shortstop. Full count pitch. High, ball 4. A lengthy at bat will put Ponce on first. Tampa gets a base runner to bring up Braden Woodburn. And you know, Landon, there was a big question about where Tampa would be finding leadership from this year's baseball roster. Players like Woodburn would probably be one of the first places you look. He's got 2 rings with the team.
Wow. That is pretty good. That will definitely impress some people on his resume for sure.
He'll be looking for another strong season as the pickoff throw gets away. They almost had Ponce out, and he's going to think
he's going to round up to third.
He'll get there with plenty of time to spare. And already a 1-out walk has turned into disaster. An error on the mound has brought Ponce to third base. Whoops, sorry.
No, you're good. Just a single can drive him in.
That'll be what he's looking for right here. But also a sacrifice would do it as the count goes 1-0. Normally, you wouldn't expect for the runner to already teleport halfway across the diamond before the first pitch of the at-bat, but the pickoff throw from Portis just a little offline to Cardona. 2-0. Kind of ironic given that Cardona is also a returning player. Maybe you might expect that the pitcher and first baseman, if one of them is a transfer, maybe they don't have the communication down for a pickoff, but that time, maybe just call it a misinput. That one was not a misinput. A very nice breaking ball fouled away by Woodburn. 2-1. Woodburn, 5 RBIs on the season. Number 6 now sits just 90 feet away. Ooh, and he's going to get hit high and inside. Tampa's been drawing a few hit-by pitches throughout the weekend, last weekend, and he'll start with one right here. Runners at the corners for Jake Books. Now, Books wasn't part of the 2025 National Championship winning side Spartans, but he has had experience with national champions. He's a transfer out of Coastal Carolina who went the distance to the College World Series last year. And with one away, he's got 2 aboard, and he is looking to extend his team lead of 9 RBIs. However, double play would also get Portes out of the jam. First pitch to Books. Strike 1, that slider hit in the zone. Good location from Portes. Trying to get that early strike. Don't think Books will let him get away with another breaking ball in a good spot like that, though. Runner goes. Here's the throw to second.
Oh.
Safe.
Right there.
Successful steal for Woodburn. Ponce stays put at third. There is the possibility potentially of a double steal in a play like that. But it was a good throw from Contreras behind home plate. And just like that, Woodburn has added to the tally. He now has got 6 steals here in 2026. 1-1 on the way. That was a fastball high and away on the almost a pitch out throw, if you will. And the strike gets away from the catcher. Tampa takes the lead. And that one's a clear as day passed ball by Contreras. It was a good location for Portes. It wasn't an awkward location at all. Also interesting, Contreras is a returning player. So, again, he probably has repertoire working with Portes already. So a little surprising that a passed ball would surprise them that time around. Bad luck for Portes. One away, a runner at third. And the count's going to go 3-1. They called the previous pitch, which looked close to being a strike ball. And now it's 3-1 to Books. On deck is Yohander Irigoyen, Tampa's catcher, who is waiting in the wings. He's doing a warm-up, swinging a 2 at-bats off screen as Books fouls that one back. So another full count. Tampa's going to be able to get the pitch count up a little bit early on Portes, the same way we saw Post do that a little bit with Robert Satin. 3-2 for Books. Swing and a miss. A little bit in front of that slider. And it's the first strikeout of the year for Portes. 2 down. Thoughts on that slider for strike 3?
That was pretty good. It was a pretty good pitch. Definitely got him chasing. Let's hope for the next batter that we get another run in.
All JoJo needs to do is put a ball in play, and he's done a good job of that throughout his Spartans career. A bit of a quiet start on the stat sheet this season, but he broke out with a big way, a home run last Saturday as that one's fouled away for strike 1. Adding the list of Spartans who have taken the ball deep this season, and that number is sure to grow as the year continues. As we also continue tonight at the Birdcage. 0-1 now from Portes to Irigoyen. Slight shift to the left on the infield. That one low and away. Good scoop by Contreras. That one could have gone away for another wild pitch.
Oh, absolutely.
And we'll say probably not ideal, Landon, if you have 2 wild pitches or pass balls giving up 2 runs.
Three errors in 1 inning. That's not ideal.
So here comes the 1-1 from Portes. Oh. Good spot on the corner.
Good
strike
spot,
2.
yep.
I think Contreras might have helped him a little bit with that pull to the zone.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The framing was just absolutely perfect.
And you could tell Irigoyen shaking his head because he knows that's the exact type of pitch he would frame as well.
Oh, yeah.
1-2 on the way. 2-2 on the way to Irigoyen. And he's going to drive that to deep left field. Is that number 2?
Back.
Yes, it is. See ya. 2-run shot for Irigoyen. First hit for the Spartans. It's 3-1. A big blast by Irigoyen. As Maddox King said on Instagram, never a slump for Poppy. That'll bring up the batting average and bring up the Tampa lead. So bad news for Vanacek. It'll be hard for him to add to his RBI tally. The first baseman ready to go with a 3-0 lead, 2 away. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Vanacek has played at 1 RBI this season. He's batting .200 entering the weekend. He's listed on the roster and presumably is the catcher 2 on the depth chart behind Irigoyen, but he's frequently found action at first base throughout the start of the season. He'll quickly fall behind 0-2, though. Two good fastballs by Portes. And Landon, that's exactly how you need to respond after a home run if you're a pitcher.
Absolutely.
No fear from Portes. Challenging Vanacek immediately. He can't do anything about that two-run shot. But what can he do here with two away? He'll get a swing and a miss to end the inning. Good job rallying after a two-run shot to end the inning with 3 straight strikes.
Great way to start the game. Just with a 2-run shot and just a couple errors. Bad side on Port University. Let's see if they can respond. Top of the second? Yes. See if they can respond back.
And they'll have their 4, 5, and 6 batters do. So we're back at the Bird Cage, top of the second, about to begin. Taylor Storley, Landon Wise on the call tonight. It is 3-0 Tampa. We do apologize for our viewers. The live scoreboard application that's been working with our broadcast has definitely had an ERA in triple digits this season. It has not been working out the way I'd like it and the way I know a lot of the viewers do. But Tampa, with a 2-run shot by Irigoyen, was able to extend their lead. It was only a matter of time before JoJo got on the board with yet another home run. The Eagles will have the lefty open up. Andrew Hartman, you definitely don't envy his position going up against Tampa's lefty ace. Hartman, the graduate out of Bethel, Connecticut, previously in D3 at Gordon College. First pitch on the way from Satin. He struck out 2 in the first inning, keeping a ludicrously high K-9 rate, as it stays right around 16 K-9 for the season. Satin has been otherworldly to start 2026 in his transition from long reliever spot starter into Friday night ace. Strike 2 gets the corner again. Before the game, Coach Urso was singing Satin's praises as well, saying that he's got a bulldog mentality. He was able to come out first home game of the season with a packed house and absolutely light up the night. Trying to do the same right here. 0-2 on the way. Did he go? Well, I thought that should have been a strike on the edge of the zone, but check swing, ball 1, and Hartman stays alive.
Yeah, it looked like it was strike from our view, and looked like he was actually aggressive with it, but guess not. Let's see what he does next pitch.
1-2 now from Satin. That one chopped on the ground.
Chopper.
Could be a close play for Woodburn. The glove toss, not in time. So close to a highlight, you can't fault the hustle. Hartman beats the throw. First hit for post on a very unlucky play for the Spartans. You got to give credit to Hartman, but I also got to give a lot of love to Woodburn because that is not an easy play to make, and he has a perfectly played glove toss.
Yes.
Here's Maiko Cardona ready to go. The right-hander last season, bat .243 for post. Ball 1, low and away. No, you're talking about that strike or ball call earlier. You know what they say. You can't fight City Hall. You're not going to be able to get those calls overturned. Unlike the majors this year, we don't have the automatic ball strike challenge system. But for our fans, unfortunately, I can't see it from this broadcast angle, but whenever the ball is put in play, you might notice there is a small little board out in center field next to the batter's eye. That is the pitch clock, and we do use it. You will occasionally see a pitch clock violation. However, Satin's been keeping clean with pitch clock violations so far, as that one's hit deep and foul. 2-1 now from Satin to Cardona. 18 RBIs last year as well. Cardona didn't have qualified stats, but did feature in 36 games. The junior is ahead of Satin with a runner on first. Hit sharply to short. Picked up by Ponce. Flip to Woodburn. 6, 4, 3. It is a 7th double play of the year for the Spartans, and their defense has been top-notch since day one. What a flip by Ponce, and what a turn by the defense.
What a turn. Just what a dive, and just what an overall rounded play. Great defense.
Urso has definitely also sung the praises for Ponce's defense at short, because obviously it's great when you have a hard-hitting, very strong offense shortstop, but it's the most important defensive position on the diamond. You need someone who's good with the glove, and the junior can do it in spades. 0-1 now on the way after the first pitch to Foster. Low, I think it was his cutter, dropping a bit too low that time. 1-1 for Satin. Base is empty, 2 outs on the board. Strike 2 on the inside corner. That was a close call there, but this time Satin gets the benefit from the umpire. And it'll be the sophomore Foster looking to protect and keep the inning going. 1-2 from the 24. Got him looking. Strike 3, painted the low corner. And it's 3 strikeouts now for Satin in just 2 innings on the bump. Got into a little trouble due to an infield single, but Ponce, Woodburn, and Vanacek, I almost said Books, he's the DH today, had his back with that double play, keeping Tampa up 3-0 as we enter the bottom.
Not yet.
And we're about ready to continue. Portes, bottom of the second. It'll be Soto, Graham, and King due up. And it'll be Tampa's left fielder getting us started here in the bottom of the second. A 3-run first inning. It's actually the most we've seen Tampa start the game with throughout their home stands this season. Although they actually opened up Friday night with 3 runs of their own. Soto ready to go. He's hitting .368 on the season. First pitch from Portes. Swing and a miss down low. Now looking at the stat sheet, you know, Portes has struggled a little bit with command, struggled a little bit with hits last year. But if you can get an above 9 K-9 with the starter, as that was just turned foul by Soto, you know that he's got some pretty solid stuff from that arm, which should be a promising sign for this year. He already was able to retire 2 Spartans via strikeout. Books down in a full count, and Vanacek on 3 straight pitches. 0-2 now to Soto, looking to get him on the third pitch. Well, that won't be a strikeout, but I don't think it's deep enough for a home run. Out to the warning track. It is caught by Diaz. Soto was looking for his first long ball of the year. He'll just have to try again. A.J. Graham steps up to the plate, and you know, Landon, AJ had a big weekend last weekend.
Oh, absolutely. Last Sunday he got 2 home runs. What a game! Like you don't ever see that from a player. 2 home runs.
And
Impressive.
he was able to do it as his first 2 Spartan home runs as well, which adds to it being special. And it also was a walk-off home run. But it was an 11-1 win, so it's not really a walk-off in terms of the winning a close game.
Yeah.
It just ended the day a little bit early thanks to the run-ahead rule.
Absolutely,
as Graham will now get ahead 1-1. Graham had some pinch hit appearances where he got on base before getting the full start on Sunday. And he's back in the starting lineup today at the hot corner as the count goes 2-1. A little bit of trivia about Graham. Landon, take a guess, and which NL Central team drafted him back in 2021?
NL Central team back in 2021. Ooh. Can I get the region of the team?
The NL Central.
Oh, NL
So one
Central,
of 5
like
teams.
one of 5 teams. Oh,
Yep.
Okay. Oh, my bad. I sounded kind of dumb a little bit.
They're all kind of the same region, though. So
yeah,
it does help a little bit as the count goes 3-1 and 3-2. Fouled away.
Oh man, I don't really know about the areas for MLB, but I'll probably say, if I had to guess, well, the one team that's on my mind is the Royals.
Close. Also, they're out of the AL Central.
Yeah, AL Central. AL Central. See that?
Yeah.
I don't know much about like the leagues and such.
Ball 4, and Graham will take a walk. And the answer, the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Pirates. Oh, wasn't even close.
Well, close enough.
Yeah.
But a little bit further away, a little bit further north.
Right.
Graham has been shining in the sunlight as he will get on base.
They're a solid team.
They certainly are. They got Paul Skeens' World Baseball Classic.
Oh yeah. A.K.A. Libby Dunn's husband.
That too. As there's a quick pickoff throw, Graham will be safe. Maddox King steps back to the plate. He was dealing with a hand injury throughout the offseason. But when he's had the chance to shine, he has been looking like his usual self as Graham goes for a stolen base. Throw in time. They got him. Beautiful play behind home plate. Contreras makes up for the passed ball error earlier by getting the first out of the inning.
Yeah, that was a perfect throw from the catcher.
And by first out, I mean second out. 2 down now. Base is empty for Maddox King. Tampa was able to draw their second walk of the game, but the bases are now empty for Maddox King. Swing and a miss. Slowed it down that time with a curve. Make it 1-1.
You see, he wanted that one. Now he has to protect now.
Does a good job there to bring the count to 1-2.
Yep.
Still trying to time up that curveball. You imagine Portes might try to mix it up with a fastball here.
Mm-hmm.
He's set him up with those curveballs. The high heater could fool the center fielder. But he goes back to the curve, missing high for ball 2. 2-2 now. Portes to King. King's hitting .333 in 2 appearances. Ball 3. Did he go? No. They do check at first base, though. Close call there for Glover. And that'll bring the count full for Maddox King. The leadoff man, Jordan Evans, on deck. Evans popped out on the second pitch of the ball game. So will Tampa go down in order? Or will they prolong the outing? 3-2. Fouled back. And there was the fastball. King just under it. So one more time. Portes, the 3-2. Swing and a miss. A third strikeout of the game for Portes. He battles his way through a full count. He's got the pitch count up a bit high. I believe that's number 40 in the ball game. Tampa doesn't get a hit. They lose their base runner after a good throw by Contreras. They go down in order as Satin returns. So here we go with a brand new inning. It'll be Satin getting to work against Keller, Contreras, and Cornwell. One hit conceded from Satin, but it went up in smoke thanks to a Tampa double play. Welcome back, top of the third on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Fastball in the outside corner, strike one from Satin to Keller. Taylor Storley, Landon Wise on the broadcast. And you know, Landon, we were talking about trivia in the previous inning about A.J. Graham. You mentioned the Kansas City Royals. And while Graham didn't come from that conference, there is a Tampa player that has relevance to tonight's game that does. Jordan Leisure.
Jordan Leisure.
MLB fans might know him for being with the Chicago White Sox. Well, he was a Tampa player back in the day, and in 2020, the first time that Tampa took on Post, he was the Game 2 starter in what was a 20-0 victory for the Spartans. He went 4 innings. He struck out 7. He gave up a hit and a walk. And the modern-day White Sox closer was able to shine against Post here at the Birdcage. Pretty cool stuff.
That is pretty cool stuff, Taylor.
2-1 from Satin to Keller. That one's going to be hit foul, make it 2-2. It'll be exciting to see Leisure get back to work. He'll be out in Arizona for the White Sox spring training camp coming up. Another Spartan alumni, Anthony Nunez, will likely do the same with the Orioles. I believe he'll also be out in Arizona as there's a swing and a miss. A strikeout on the 2-2 count, and it's 4 on the day for Robert Satin. Make it 20 on the season. Here comes Manny Contreras. He bat 174 last season for Post, getting promoted to full-time catcher this season for Post. At the very least, for now, he'll be the full-time catcher. Post is still going to try to figure some things out with the lineup. That's what Coach Skold told me pre-game. They've got a lot of new players, and this weekend they want to start to see how their team will fit together and play together. He also wants them to be competitive, to hustle and compete. And like we saw with that infield single earlier from Hartman, they're doing a good job with that. Although the scoreboard currently does show a 3-0 Tampa advantage. 1-1 now. Satin on the way to Contreras. Low and outside. 1-2. The switch hitting shortstop is on deck. And it's going to be lined to center field. Will he have a base runner and a blooper? No. Nope. Plenty of time to track that down by Maddox King. 2 away. As Cornwall steps up to the plate, let's give you an intro of the Tampa defense. Graham's at third base, Ponce at short, Woodburn at second, Vanacek at first. Soto in left, King in center, Evans in right. Irigoyen behind home plate, forming the battery with Satin. By the way, for the start of the season, Cornwell is the first switch hitter that either has been on Tampa or the visiting team here at the Birdcage. So the first time when you're filling out the dugout clipboard, Tampa needs to use a blue pen to indicate that they are able to bat on both sides of the plate. Wow. Usually you'll just use a black Sharpie or marker to indicate a right-handed batter and a red one to indicate a left-handed batter, but blue if you're a switch hitter. And other notable switch hitters that currently play in the majors, Jason Dominguez, who actually attended a Spartans game, I believe, last year. Also, Brian Reynolds, an MLB The Show favorite, and Ketel Marte, as in the blink of an eye, Cornwell goes down looking. 5 strikeouts for Satin. 9 up, 9 down with a single to interrupt it. A stellar start already for the lefty as we are done with 3 innings. Bottom of the third coming up next. Bottom of the third, after giving up that 2-run shot, Portes has responded with 3 outs, a walk, and then another strikeout to give him 3 Ks on the day. He would like to improve that tally with 3 strikeouts and 2 walks so far. Portes will continue with his second trip through the Tampa order, starting with Evans, Ponce, and Woodburn. Evans started with a pop-out to start the game, but he'll get underway here for the bottom of the third. Evans hitting .350 on the season. He is doing exactly what Tampa wants out of a leadoff man. He gets on base, and he can make you pay when he's on base too, with a couple of steals along the way. First pitch coming from Portes for the brand new inning. That'll be strike 1. Evans is a senior out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. He transferred here from Mississippi College, where he picked up a 10-20 season last year with 26 steals and 13 home runs. Still yet to go yard as a Spartan is, wow. He might have stolen a ball that time around, 2-1. That's an unlucky call for Portes. But Evans will certainly appreciate it. Here comes the 2-1 on the way from the senior to the other senior. Ball 3. Good take by Evans. Last year had a .479 on base percentage, .468 to start here with the Spartans. Mississippi College last year took on Tampa in the regional final. Tampa lost their first game against Mississippi College, but rallied to win twice in a row as he goes down for strike 3, or 2. Evans was so convinced it was ball 4, he flipped the bat away. Thankfully, he's got just enough time to return to the batter's box. Otherwise, could have been a pitch clock violation, strike 3. Would have been a little bit embarrassing.
Pretty much so.
Popped up, and it'll be a repeat of his first at bat, barring a drop in right field. Foster gets under it, 1 away. Ponce steps up to the plate. He drew a walk in his first try, getting a full count against Portes. Now, notably, Portes will be at a big disadvantage against Robert Satin. Well, not just because he has to pitch against the best offense currently in D2, but more so because this is Portes' first game of the season. Satin's already had multiple outings as the count goes 1-0. So it'll be all the post arms kind of warming up. They're going to have less of a distance to be able to go compared to Tampa players, who are now more actively built up their stamina, built up some game reps, and shaken the rust off, you could say, as the count goes 1-1. So imagine Portes' outing could be a little bit shorter than you'd normally guess. But he is a bit of a workhorse, so maybe he will go deep. And as his pitch count's about to hit 50 with a 1-1 on the way, he's looking good here in the third. 2-1, high and outside. Ponce was able to get to third after a pickoff error from Portes, and then eventually score on a passed ball. Swing and a miss on the 2-1. 2-2 for Portes. He would love to pick up a 4th strikeout and add a second out to the tally. So here's the senior out of Santo Domingo. 2-2 to Ponce. Down low, ball 3. Full count now. Braden Woodburn awaits. He got plunked in his first at bat. Fouled, and that bat continues. There is some action in the bullpen, a player stretching and tossing, but not in uniform while stretching and tossing, wearing a gray warm-up t-shirt. You don't normally see that. Normally they'll be wearing a jersey, so interesting call there. Payoff pitch is fouled, and Ponce gets another chance. Tampa's bullpen empty, but you imagine after next inning there will be someone stretching and tossing. Satin probably will be done after 5 innings or so, if his pitch count's low enough, which actually hasn't really been the case today, could return for the 6th. But it is ball 4, no strike there. Contreras was ready for a quick strike 3 call and throw to third to celebrate. It's ball 4. Kind of ironic. That time, he almost celebrated the strikeout a little too early after we saw Evans celebrate too early on the walk in the previous at-bat. That'll bring up Woodburn. Woodburn was both named to the conference and region second team. That one all the way misses behind Woodburn and almost took Woodburn's head off as the count goes 1-0. And while the previous missed offering was a passed ball clearly as it bounced away from Contreras, this one clear as day, a wild pitch. So Ponce gets a free base for the 2nd time today off of an error. Well, actually, 3rd time today.
Yeah.
So he's advanced on a pickoff miss, a passed ball, and a wild pitch as the count goes 2-0. That is pretty much the cycle of allowing a base runner to advance. The error, the passed ball, all he needs to do is a balk. That one shot to second will be the 2nd out of the inning unless Woodburn beats the throw. He's out by a step. Ponce reaches 3rd. Jake Books struck out last time. The transfer from Coastal Carolina, ready to go right here. One thing that Books and other players have to get used to here at the Birdcage is the turf. You might notice we don't use dirt, we don't use grass, we use straight up turf here at the Birdcage, which was part of a change we made a couple seasons ago. And when Books was sliding to home in the most recent series against Montevallo, he had an awkward play where he slid and couldn't reach home plate after stopping early on the slide. He misjudged how far he'd need to slide. But the good news is there was no throw waiting at him at home, so he was able to crawl forward and reach home plate safely. But it looked like one of those not top 10 highlights for the moment for Books. But thankfully, it didn't come back to hurt Books in any way as the count goes 1-1. Books struck out in his first try, although he didn't leave a runner on the base path because they would come home not too long later from an Irigoyen home run. This one might drop as a blooper, tracking back the shortstop, making the catch as Cornwell. Inning over. So a little bit of chaos, including a wild pitch, does put a Spartan runner in scoring position. But with no hits, no errors, and no runs, Tampa strands the first runner of the ball game to take us to the top of the 4th. The warm-up wrapping up for Satin, top of the 4th, about to get underway. Satin could get a chance to go the distance later in the season, but I know from Coach Joe Urso, the MO is just to get him going 4 to 5 innings to open up here today. He's already got a bit of a cushion, and if he can complete the 4th inning on the bump, he'll be in line for a 3rd win of the season. It'll be up to Tampa's bullpen to help him hold on to that lead, but so far they've done a good job. Tampa's offense has scored 46 runs entering today. They've only conceded 4. That's good enough for an 0.63 team ERA. Pretty crazy numbers to start 2026. Those will change as we continue. Kevin Diaz, leadoff man, will get a chance to try to get something going. Ball one, missing away. Satin's pitch count is currently at 41. Not a bad number to start the fourth inning. He's already picked up 5 strikeouts again in the first 3 innings. A little bit high that time. Make it 2-0. Swing and a miss. Low heater there from Satin, 2-1. Kevin Diaz continues his at-bat. He's a freshman outfielder out of Hidalgo, Texas. He is an NJCAA transfer, it looks like. Maybe I'm just reading that wrong. Nope, he is. Swing and a miss, 2-2. So I imagine he's actually coming off a redshirt year there. Now let's see what the 5'11" freshman can do. 2-2 from Satin. Swing and a miss. Got him going on the high heat. And a 6th strikeout for Satin. Joey Cohen back to the plate. He made sure Satin would not get 6 strikeouts in a row to start the game today with his flyout to right field. And he did have some pretty good swings in that first at-bat. Here's the first pitch. Swing and a miss this time. That was not a good swing. You definitely anticipate that the junior, previously also in the NJCAA at Southern New York, or the SNUNY Westchester Community College, will be looking to get on base here. But now he's behind 0-2. Chasing the high heat. I think they might have been switching up their batting approach a little. Maybe anticipating Satin would go more aggressive into the zone after some long at-bats early in the game. 0-2 from Satin. Got him looking. Strike 3.
Back-to-back strikeouts.
Make it 3 in a row, beginning with Cornwell to end the previous inning.
Mm-hmm.
We really have to look back in the record book or the depths of Coach Joe Urso's memory to try to find if there is a starter who was able to replicate that Satin feat of 8 strikeouts in a row. But given how rare it is to be able to do just that, I wouldn't be surprised if Satin was the first Spartan pitcher to ever do it, putting him in pretty elite company.
Absolutely, Taylor.
Given that he exited in the 5th, though, he couldn't try for an all-time Spartan strikeout record. The leaderboards for 10th overall do begin at 13. But still, a historic opening night, and now Satin's on the door and on the brink of an 8th K and a chance to have a 1-2-3 inning, all ended by strikeout. Would be the first time he strikes out the side today. 0-2 coming up to Alfala, who went down swinging in the first. Will go down with a tip to stay alive. That's the pitch he wanted to swing on, though.
Mm-hmm.
Alfala will go again. Oh, 2 from Satin. 2 down to the top of the 4th. That one hit foul. That one goes off the side netting. Can't escape the confines of the bird cage. The reason we call it the bird cage, you see that 100-foot netting around all the sides of the stadium, including center field. But there are still a handful of foul balls that get out of the park every single game. Have to wait for the first one today. 0-2 again from Satin. And that was close, but goes all the way away from Uruguayan. Good thing it wasn't strike 3, because otherwise that might have given Alfala the base for free. I imagine he would have beat the oncoming drop third strike throw. One and 2 from Satin. High. So close that time. Make it 2-2. Alfala is 5'7", and that's probably the reason he doesn't go down looking. If he's a little bit taller, that probably clips the zone. That's why he's a short king. I'm also 5'8", so always love it when someone around my height's doing really good on the diamond. Ball 3 missing down low. Speaking of players close to that height, Jesse Ponce, 5'9", and he's absolutely killing it. Also, Javi Soto, 5'7", absolutely killing it. We'll see if their numbers are called on defense as the count's gone full. Satin to Alfala. Payoff pitch. Got him looking.
Got him.
Great battling from Alfala to go out of an 0-2 hole. But strike 3 finds a way. Satin strikes out 8 in his first 4 innings. Back to his usual self. We're headed to the bottom of the 4th. Warm-ups complete. Portes will continue. How deep will he get to go today? He's on 60 pitches. If he is quick through the bottom of the 4th, he might be back for the 5th. But if not, he'll be able to end the start of the season, I'd imagine, on a positive note. Only giving up 3 runs against the 2-time in a row defending champions. Obviously, Tampa, 10 rings in total. First one all the way back in 1992. And the most recent ones the last 2 seasons down in Cary, North Carolina. Tampa's also taken home 24 conference champions as a team, most of them piloted by Joe Urso, who is likely in line for win number 1100 this season. Still a little whiles away from 1100 for tonight. Tampa looking to make it 6-0 in the season. Strike 1 to Irigoyen. If we had a replay, we would definitely pull it up because Irigoyen took one way deep back in the first inning, lighting up the lights in the outfield and putting up Tampa by an extra 2 runs to make it 3-0. But not only has Tampa not scored since, they haven't gotten a hit since. It's actually their only hit of the ball game as the count goes 1-1. Second homer of the year for Irigoyen. He's now tied with Ponce and Graham for the team's overall lead in the long ball. Good take, 2-1. Wonder if that was just a hard falling slider or a true sweeper out of Portes. Either way, not a bad offering, but good take by Irigoyen. High and inside, 3-1. Irigoyen split catcher duties with Santiago Guetavito last year, but he quickly emerged as a 1A in that 1A, 1B partnership in the position last year. But now he's the out-and-out everyday catcher for the Spartans, and he's doing a pretty good job behind home plate if you look at that ERA, helping out all his battery mates on the mound. And if you think about it, at the plate too. He's brought home 9 RBIs on the season. 3-2 now. Irigoyen has had the count go full against Portes, but it is another long at bat from the Spartan catcher. And Irigoyen's done it again. Way back, second of the night.
See ya.
Third of the season for Irigoyen, 4-0 Tampa.
Same location too, Taylor.
The exact same spot. I know last weekend we actually had some data tracking how far the balls were going, Sadly, we don't tonight, but my guess, 400 feet.
Oh my gosh.
I think that is probably a
that
good
is
guess.
probably a pretty good precise guess.
As if you look out in left field, the national champions board, 375
375
distance, and that cleared the wall by a little margin.
Oh yeah, just a little, yeah.
Just a little bit. 4-0 Tampa, second hit of the ball game. Ironic, both of them coming off home runs. High and inside, Vanacek up 1-0. Vanacek went down on 3 straight strikes in the first inning after the home run by Irigoyen. But this time he'll see a ball on the count. And this time he'll see a ball to the back. Ouch. He'll get a on base with a hit by pitch. So the good news for Portes, he's only given up 2 hits. He has hit 2 batters, and he has walked 3 batters. But those 2 hits he gave up, they were home runs.
Yeah.
That is not ideal necessarily.
Not
and
at all, Taylor.
It looks like he might be done, as there is the player in the bullpen taking the warm-up jersey off. And Portes, as he hits around the 70 pitch mark, could be given the rest of the day off after 3.0 innings. And even though he could end up with 5 earned, going up against the Tampa team after having a 10 ERA last season, I definitely don't think you can call this start a bad start by any sense of the word, especially as he picked up 4 strikeouts to just 3 walks. And Tampa is a team known for getting on base. They drew over 100 walks last season. They just do ludicrous things in terms of getting on base. So a pitcher who normally has command issues hasn't shown too many struggles against Tampa. He's actually won some pretty big full count at bats. Although for Portes, he actually won't be done just yet. But this is the first time he'll be getting talked to on the mound, and I believe it is head coach Skold coming out there to talk things over. Skold has been with the team for 7 seasons. And he'll be hoping that his senior can get out of the jam. That does mean Skold has experience against the Spartans, as the only time these 2 teams played was back in 2020. It was in that series that Jordan Leisure took part in a 20-0 Spartans victory. Tampa also won the first game 10-3 and the third game 9-0 over that 3-game series. Swing and a miss. Big whiff by Soto to start the at-bat. So safe to say, I think that that talk worked out. Here's the 0-1 from Portes. 0-2. Good spot on the low corner. It was with 2 strikes that he forced to fly out from Soto in his first at-bat. What can he do right here with a runner on and no one out in the bottom of the 4th? Turns for the pickoff throw, but thinks better of it with just a light toss. Given that he missed that throw earlier, not a bad idea. Although Vanacek isn't the world's most aggressive base-stealing threat, I'd imagine, as he does it again, that time he was just trying to catch him off guard. The first time, I think we should just kind of reset him and the catcher, give him a new pitch to get called out via pitch count. There's no disengaged limit here in D2. No need to disengage.
Line drive, base hit.
Soto to left field, Vanacek to second. 3rd hit for the Spartans, and the first one that doesn't clear the fences. Very clean line drive to set up A.J. Graham. Both of Graham's home runs came as solo shots. The final one of the day turned into a walk-off for the run-ahead rule. He would love to go yard right here. He drew a walk last time, but then got caught stealing. Swing and a miss, strike 1. One unlucky stat that Graham finds himself holding. He is the first Spartan to get caught stealing this season outside of a pickoff throw. And he's going to go down 0-2. Good location again from Portes. He's like that low and away fastball. And so is the umpire. No outs. Double play opportunity is on the board. Maddox King on deck. Outside again. That one a close call, but just enough room on the edge of the plate. Contreras was also set up a little bit to the right, so while it looked pretty close to the center of Contreras' body, a little bit outside the zone.
Yeah.
And there's a warning from the umpires. Don't know if it's to the dugouts or the base runners. Either way, felt the need to step out there and keep things in check.
Mm-hmm.
Doing a quick pickoff turn back to Vanacek, and the ball gets dropped, although not enough time for any runner to advance. They do have their eye on Vanacek, though, funny enough. Vanacek is a transfer out of the State College of Florida, another JUCO product coming off of a pretty good year. He had a .467 on base and .467 slugging percentage last year in the Citrus Conference. Another team in that conference, Santa Fe College, has turned into a Tampa development hub, if you will, with a lot of their alums shining under the bright lights of the birdcage. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 5 for Portes. One out for Maddox King. He went down swinging back in the second. Good work by Portes, putting 5 Ks on the board tonight. And all of them have come on swings. Correction, 4 strikeouts. Ball dropped, but good block to keep the runners still. I thought he already had his 4th, but no. That one right there was his 4th. 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. Not a bad opening strikeout to walk ratio against a disciplined team like Tampa. Here's the 1-0. That one would have been a good pitch to swing at, make it 1-1. A little bit tough as it is inside, but does curl back to hit the plate. Last season, Maddox King put up a 266 on average, 266 average, and an above 400 on base and slugging percentage, as he'll step off and give a half-hearted toss over to Cornwell. King's father was also a Spartan alumni. He was part of the 1998 championship-winning team. And I believe that was one of the first titles that Coach Urso won with the Spartans. 1-1 on the way. Good slider, just falls low. Here's Portes. 2 aboard, 1 out. He's got his eye on Vanacek and steps off again. He does have to be careful when he's kind of interrupting that motion like that, because he could get called out for balking. And I mentioned that would give him the cycle of allowing the runners to advance without steals, where he's already missed a pickoff throw for an error. He's had a passed ball and a wild pitch. Hit sharply to second. This could be 2. Bobbled it short. They make the toss. The throw to first is in time. Inning over on a 6-4-3 double play. Cornwell with an incredible rebound after the initial bobble to retire the side. Unlucky for the Spartans offense. 2 hits, 1 run, 1 stranded. The damage already done by Irigoyen's second long ball of the night. And like you said, Landon, in the exact same spot. We'll be back in the top of the So here's Satin, his 5th inning on the mound. Good stuff so far from Satin. He enters this inning with a 56 pitch count. Question will be whether he returns for inning number 6 for his first quality start of the season. And even though they aren't quality starts on the stat sheet, you could probably say 4 innings, 1 hit and 4 Ks, and 5 innings, 1 hit and 12 Ks are quality starts on their own right. First pitch on the way from Satin, as he's already got 8 strikeouts and 4 frames here, trying to open up with number 9 against a lefty. Hartman singled on an infield hit to the second baseman previously. Good glove flip by Woodburn, but wasn't enough to get the out. 0-1. That one hit to short. Ranging back, Ponce. Throw on target. Pulled him off the bag. Couldn't get the tag. I think it'll be called a hit. It's a close play. Might turn into an error on Ponce. We'll have to see what it's scored. They are going to call it an error on Ponce. Good throw, but just out of range of Vanacek. I believe that's the first error we've seen out of Ponce this season. And either way, while the throw was slightly off target, he had to back up and pick it up at an awkward angle. So not an easy play for the junior to make. That one blocked by Woodburn. It will be a hit, but Woodburn made sure that the lead runner couldn't get to third. Cardona avoids the second double play of the day as Satin gets himself in a little bit of trouble. I'd imagine Sammy Beer begins a little bit of a warm-up for the Spartans. He was tasked to being a fireman in a tight spot earlier in the season against Montevallo. And since day one, he's been envisioned as the Tampa high-leverage guy. He's lived up to the hype in a couple of appearances so far out of the bullpen. No one out, 2 aboard. I think it's the first time Satin's seen 2 base runners all season. First time he's given up 2 hits in a game all season as Foster takes down low for ball 1. There is a benefit here for Satin. It's a lefty-lefty matchup. Good take again. 2-0. From Satin. Infield playing at a double play depth. And 3-0. Great discipline from the sophomore Foster. Not getting aggressive here. That is going to see some movement down to the bullpen. And it is Beer getting up out of the dugout to begin some tossing. And that is ball 4. Close call. Satin can't get the strike, and the bases are loaded. His first walk of the season. And all of a sudden, Hunter Keller represents the tying run. Here comes Sam Militello to talk to Satin. Well, Satin is undergoing some adversity for the first time all season. Let's see how Tampa's ace can pilot his way out of this one. He'll be taking on Hunter Keller with the bases full. Tampa is a team hitting .337. Last year, Post hitting .309. The batting average, close to benefiting Post compared to Tampa today. 3 hits for the Spartans, 2 for the Eagles. The Tampa does notably still carry that 4-run lead. It is a good cushion, although I know Satin would love to preserve that 0-0 ERA. The first base runner would not be earned due to the error, I believe. But the other 2 that are on the base path would. Top of the 5th. Post getting something going here. A little bit of a reminder, back in 2020, Post did get on the board in that first game of the series in the 10-3 loss, swinging to miss strike 1. They were held scoreless in games 2 and 3. Lost those games by a combined 29-0. 0-1 from Satin. Tipped foul, getting the weak contact he's looking for, and it's 0-2. He'd love to get a strikeout here to open up an inning-ending double play situation. Tampa has converted quite a few of those. looking back to last weekend, not even counting the Georgia College series, Tampa converted 6. And there's a 9th strikeout for Satin. Swing and a miss. So after a 4-pitch walk, it's a 3-pitch strikeout, just what the doctor had ordered. Could he put up back-to-back double-digit strikeout games, or will he end his 3rd start of the season on a double play? Or can Post finally put a run up in the run column for Satin in 2026? Strike 1. Contreras flew out last time. That would bring home a run if he did it right here. Oh, 1, the senior catcher. Infield still at double play depth. Swing and a miss, chasing the fastball away. 0-2. So here is Satin, up 0-2 to Contreras. Swing and a miss. It's a 10 on the board for Satin in terms of strikeouts. And he did it on 6 straight strikes after the conference with Sam Militello, the Spartan veteran and the coaching legend. There's a reason the number 22 is also retired out in right field, alongside Coach Urso's number 7, of course. First pitch on the way to Cornwell. Popped up in strike 1.
That might have left the bird cage.
I think so, or maybe fell awkwardly behind the dugout. A couple of them do get out to campus. Haven't been able to find one walking around, sadly. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Strike 2, one more.
Kenny Noble, Tiger, Post. Oh, 2 on the way. Rip through the hole and Post get on the board. They'll send the second runner home. Can Soto throw him out? It is almost in time and gets away from home plate. Both runners will advance. A big 2 RBI double on an 0-2 count from Cornwell. Actually, it'll be a single with an errant throw from Soto, advancing both runners. Would have been a perfect escape, but instead, 2-run score, one of them earned, one of them unearned. Foster to third. Cornwell the scoring position. A second error from the Spartans out in left field. That'll bring the top of the order. And Kevin Diaz to the plate. He's still looking for his first collegiate hit. Ball 1. No, strike 1. That one's an awkward call. And by the way, Noble Tiger is a no outs, bases loaded, ending with team incapable of getting an earned run. So not going to happen here. As of the bases loaded and no outs, Post do plate 2 on that RBI double out of Cornwell. His first hit with the team and his first RBIs with the team. Tying run is now at second base. A hit would likely level the scoreline. 1-1 on the way. Low, but framed well. Not well enough. Ironic that those 2 pitches were misses when that first pitch was called a strike.
Yeah.
2-1. 2-1 for Satin. It is better than 3-0 in this situation.
Absolutely.
How will the freshman deliver here? High, ball 3. This is the longest outing Satin has had with his pitch count climbing. He is now at 75, 6 on the day. This will be 77 and could load the bases again. There is a free base to put him at least. 3-1. Rip to center. And King closes in time to get the final outs. So, a perfect escape. Impossible that time for Satin. Cornwell delivers a clutch 2 RBI single. But still, he picks up strikeouts 9 and 10 and ends the day on a stellar note. 4-2 Tampa lead, but Post do cut into the deficit. First call to the bullpen will be made with Portes exiting stage left. We'll be back. Call to the bullpen. Portez's opening of the season comes to a close. 4 innings, 3 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. Kind of fun symmetry on that scorecard with 4s and 3s. Solid season opener, doing better than most starters have done against the Spartans this season. And the ball will be handed over to Sebastian Velasquez, a junior out of Valley Stream, New York. He was previously at D1 with Rhode Island. He is ready to go today as we continue in the birdcage. Beautiful night here at U Tampa. Taylor Storley, Landon Wise on the call, and Landon, not what Satin was hoping for, but he still ends his outing on a pretty hot note.
I would say so, Taylor.
Picked up 2 strikeouts with the bases loaded, no outs, and got to 2 strikeouts to almost get out of the jam, but the graduate shortstop just got the better of him with a clean line drive.
Yes.
It's going to happen eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But
It was
still,
just a matter of time.
5 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs with 1 earned, a walk and 10 strikeouts is a day that most starting pitchers would normally love. And I'm sure Satin's still pretty happy about the effort.
Oh, absolutely.
First pitch on the way from Velasquez. Ball up high. Top of the order, it'll be Evans leading off for the Spartans. His 3rd at-bat of the game, and 3rd time he's acting as the leadoff man. That's the reason he's only had 1 RBI this season. Hit sharply to short. He should be out for out number 1. He is out by a step. 1 away to bring up Jesse Ponce. Tampa's only mustered 3 hits. They have brought home 4 runs. They drew 3 walks. They got hit by 2 pitches. So they've not had difficulty with base runners. The balls in play have just leaned a little more favorably in direction of post as the count goes 0-1 to Ponce. He hasn't needed a ball in play. He's gone on with 2 walks today, both of them on full counts. That's him showcasing his abilities all across the diamond. Great with contact, great with power, great with discipline, and great on defense. Even though he had an error in the previous frame, it was just a slightly off-target, off-balance throw, which had pulled Vanacek off the bag. Most of the time, Vanacek's been able to pull those throws back in and make tags. And here's one the other way from Ponce. Caught on a diving grab. What a stop by Cohen. 2 away.
What a catch.
A web gem from Cohen out in left. Comes up with the ball. 2 outs for Woodburn. Everyone on the post defense tipping their caps, deservedly so. What a play in left field, robbing Ponce of an extra base hit the other way. That is such a tough play to get to because as a left fielder, you're not expecting the lefty to pull it down the line. Well, there's a free base for Woodburn. He gets plunked. 2nd time he's been hit today.
2nd time, yes.
So Velasquez was hoping for a perfect start to his bullpen appearance. Well, that hit by pitch won't let it happen. Woodburn picked up his 6th steal last time on the base path. I imagine he'll be going again. But for now, it's Jake Books, 0 for 2 today. Question for Tampa. Who do you go to out of the bullpen? 2-run game. Do you bring Beer out this early, or do you bring out a different reliever to fill in for the 6th? There goes Woodburn. No, he pulls back, and it goes high for ball 1. Wonder if he kind of forced a bit of a pitch out by taking that little jump. Books had a full count strikeout in the 1st and a 1-1 pop out in the 3rd. Well, there's the 1-1 count. Now, no pop out, hopefully. A team leading 9 RBIs, at least before Irigoyen reclaimed that crown today, getting his 8th, 9th, and 10th on his 2 home runs. Irigoyen, incidentally, is on deck. Runner goes. Throw, not in time. He kind of bobbled it. Contreras ultimately chooses to keep it. It's number 7 on the season for Woodburn on steals. He was pretty active on the base path last year for Tampa, 19 for 24 in stolen bases. And he's already a third of the way to that tally in about a 10th as many games. 2-1 to Books. Good pitch inside there. That two-seamer with a little bit of break to the high inside corner. 2-2 count to Books. He went down swinging earlier. Like to avoid a strikeout right here. Velasquez to strand a runner. Books to deep right field. Doesn't have the distance. It is caught on a sliding grab by Foster. Another web gem by the post defense keeps Tampa scoreless. The men in the corners bailing Velasquez out. Tampa gets a base runner. They get halfway home, but Tampa left scoreless in the bottom of the fifth. They hold on to a 4-2 lead. Will be right. So the first time this weekend, we got a Tampa call to the pen, and it's Sammy Beer out of the bullpen. So he is Tampa's closer for the season, but he's definitely working more as a modern-day closer, where they're not just restricted to the ninth inning, getting a chance to have some high-leverage at-bats here, starting in inning number 6. Welcome back to the SSC Digital Network's coverage of D2 baseball. Taylor Storley, Landon Wise on the call. And you know, Landon, another great outing from Robert Satin just coming to a close.
Yes.
Tough way for it to end with his first earned run of the season, but he does leave him almost loaded with 2 runners in scoring position, notably keeping Tampa in front. And he gets a second straight game of double-digit strikeouts. So can't be too disappointed with that performance.
Not at all.
Make it 26 strikeouts and just 1 walk over 14 frames for Robert Satin to begin 2026. For Beer, he's got 8 over 4 1/3. First pitch on the way to Cohen. Strike 1. Cohen's had a good day out in left field. Made a great diving catch to deny Ponce of a hit in his previous plate appearance. 0-2. Good location again from Beer. Fill in the zone to start the at-bat. Sammy Beer began his college career at Florida Atlantic, but an injury didn't allow him to pitch at all for the team before he'd end up transferring to Indian River State College. He's made the jump from JUCO to D2. And from day one, Coach Urso envisioned Beer as Tampa's closer, Tampa's new inning number 9 guy, as the count goes 2-2 now. Michael Alfonso's departure left a vacancy in that role for the Spartans pitching staff. Beer's been filling that quite well. 2-2 from Beer. Got him. Strike 3. 1 away in the top of the 6th. Beer relieved John Luke Glanton in the 5th back on Saturday. He recorded 4 strikeouts with just 1 hit allowed over 3 1/3. So there is a chance he gets a call to go the distance, but I imagine just 2 to 3 innings out of the bullpen, depending on how Tampa's offense responds to, as that's strike 1. Close one there, and Alfala asking for a little bit of confirmation about the call there from the umpire. I'll say it for the second time. You can't fight City Hall. Strike 2. That one clears day right down the middle. 0-2 from Sammy Beer. Got him looking.
Got him looking.
2 away for Andrew Hartman. He's gotten on board twice, and now for the first time, he doesn't have to worry about a lefty-lefty matchup. Although the second time he got aboard, he did benefit off an off-target throw by Ponce and what would have been a close play at first. But notably, for a player definitely doesn't give you a super speedy player vibe, he's had a ton of hustle on the base path. Hartman stands at 6'4", one of the taller players on the post roster. But don't get it twisted. He's got some jets in his legs. He beat a very close play at first in the second inning. Although he'll fall behind 0-2 after 2 foul balls right here. I wonder if Hartman could eventually become a leadoff man for this post offense. For now, don't know if he'll change from cleanup at all. Let's see if he can keep the inning going. 0-2. Outside, good take. That one just fell away from Beer. 1-2. Low and in, can't get strike 3. Really good framing by Irigoyen. But couldn't fool Stephen Love. Stephen Cove. Popped up. Going to be close to the dugout. Graham tracking it. Makes the catch. Inning over. It won't be a strikeout, but it's a good outcome from Beer. 2 strikeouts on the board as he retires post in order to start the 6th. He's already in line for the hold. Might be going for the save. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Due up for the Spartans will be So Velasquez is back for another inning. A good job last time with some help from his friends. Elite diving plays from Foster and Cohen prevent Tampa from getting on the board. We'll see if Tampa have better luck, starting with the 2-home run day from Irigoyen. He's looking to make it 3, but easier said than done. Let's take a quick look at D2 and the top 5 teams in the nation from the most recent D2 baseball Twitter mention poll ranking.
Wow.
Their top team, Tampa. Second team, Central Missouri, who Tampa beat in the national championships last year. Third team, East Stroudsburg, who have yet to start their season. UT Tyler 4th and North Greenville 5th. But Tampa, top of the roost once again, top of the nation once again, trying to make it 6-0 to start the season. Here's Irigoyen. If you want to keep up with D2 baseball action, definitely recommend giving the D2 baseball Twitter account a follow. It'll give you nice updates, posts, and highlights from games all around the nation. Earlier, they updated a lot of people about the Wingate 14-0 win against Lenore-Rhine. A pretty surprising win. Wingate's a really good team, but so is Lenore-Rhine. They're usually not a team that goes down 14-0. So, very good day for the Wingate offense and defense. 0-2 now from Velasquez. Outside, ball 1. Tampa's not been able to find that 14-0 results, holding on to a 4-2 lead here. Portes and Velasquez doing a good job of keeping Tampa from scoring too often. 3 of the runs have come off of this man's bat, off of 2 home runs. He'll step off and use his timeout. Velasquez not liking the call there from Contreras. And a pitch clock violation. I think that'll bring it to a 2-2 count. So interesting there,
And it will.
because he stepped off to reset,
Mm-hmm.
but the umpire doesn't agree, and now he'll give them a full timeout. It'll be a 2-2 count to Irigoyen as Contreras and Velasquez get it together. Because I did see Velasquez step off. It's like kind of signal he was going to use his pitcher timeout, but didn't register cleanly enough for Cove, who calls him out for a pitch clock violation. And that's what I mentioned earlier today. Keep an eye on. Pitch clock.
Yep.
So it gives a little extra buffer for Irigoyen. 2-2. Still a good count for Vasquez, though.
Definitely got to be aware of that pitch clock.
That one hit to center field. It could drop for a blooper, though. Tracking all the way back is Alfala. He'll make the catch. One away to bring up Vanacek. Vanacek got hit by a pitch last time. It was right after the second Irigoyen home run. He'll be hoping not to need an ice pack after this at bat. Although notably, Woodburn's been hit twice.
Oh.
That one's fouled, strike one. Soto awaits on deck. He'll get a chance in this inning, but after Soto, who knows? Oh and 1. High, 1-1. Bullpen empty for Post. They're relying on Velasquez for the next inning and maybe even the lucky 7. For now, he'll continue with the 1-1. Ripped to left field by Vanacek. Is that number 3 for Tampa, or will it be extra bases? It'll be extra bases. I couldn't see where it landed, but just in front of the wall.
Just in front. Little one hopper to the warning track.
A clean double. Third extra base hit of the day for the Spartans, and Vanacek gets an extra to his tally too. It's not his first Tampa long ball, but he'll be satisfied, giving Tampa a 1-out base runner.
Mm-hmm.
Soto singled last time. A replication of that play probably brings Vanacek home. Although I wonder if they'll do a couple of pickoff throws. They've had their eye on Vanacek more than any other Spartan on the base path. High and inside, ball 1. Mentioned Santa Fe is a very good JUCO program for developing future Tampa players. Soto does come from Santa Fe College. And he definitely does a great job as a student athlete. Throughout his time in high school, he always kept his GPA above 3.4.
I say that's pretty good, Taylor.
I agree. As the count goes, 1-2, just clipping the
2.
corner. Hopefully, Soto's been doing the same, keeping the books at a good level here in his junior year of college.
Absolutely.
He's doing a good job at the plate. Continuing to improve his average today. Let's see if he can get a base hit as he's behind 1-2. It's high slider missing. He's got that 3/4 release, Velasquez. Adds a little bit of ride sometimes if that slider's going high. But not the world's hardest pitch to track compared to, say, a sidearm or submarine release from that right side. 2-2 on the way from Velasquez to Soto. Outside, good take on a sharper slider, ball 3. Might have actually been a splitter with how that one fell. It's A.J. Graham on deck. He had the first 2 home run game of the season for the Spartans. Irigoyen today picking up the second. Payoff pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. It is another strikeout for Velasquez. First strikeout for Velasquez, I got to correct myself. And he gets himself out of a full count. 2 down for Graham, who struck out and walked today. That's 2 of the 3 true outcomes. That third one is something that Graham has done twice this season and twice in his Spartans career. Foul back, strike 1. Alongside his limited appearances on the top team, Graham also had some appearances on the JV roster last year. He wasn't a qualified batter for them, but did lead in batting average, just in front of the qualified leader, Drew Kennedy, who hit .395. Graham over .400 with his time on the JV team. Swinging and a miss, 0-2. But unlike Kennedy, Graham was a lot more active with the top team, coming off the bench as a reserve defensive sub, and in blowouts, he'd got plenty of reps. But this year, he's been promoted to the starter. Can he convert? Ooh, close, but no call on strike three. Fell a little too far away, 1-2. So the sophomore trying to get things going. Runner at second with 2 outs and 2 strikes. Sharply down the line, it's a fair ball. And no, they're waving it foul.
I could debate that.
I would debate that too. It looked like that bounce was clean.
Yeah, just from our view, it looked like a really good hit down the line. But we are in the top seat, so it's hard to see from here.
Also kind of tricky for the umpires too, if you think about Cove's angle of it.
Oh,
Glover did have
sure.
Cove had a good angle. Like Glover has the tough angle, not covering the third bag, but sitting by second base in that shortstop location.
True.
Now here's the 1-2 to Graham. That one's high ball too. That's got to sting for Graham because that is a clean hit, but just a little bit foul on that grounder.
Who knew? Who knows? If that ball was fair, he would have definitely rounded home.
Would have made it 5-2. Probably puts Graham in second. But
we'll
here
see
comes
from
the 2-2. See if he can rally. Swing and a miss. And Velasquez gets out of the jam. Baseball is a game of inches. And it's a second clean inning for him, thanks to some great catches and an unlucky Tampa bounce. They hold on to a 2-run lead. Beer will continue his outing when we come back. So here we go for the brand new inning. Top of the 7th. Tampa leads 4-2. Closest game the Spartans have had in their home stretches this season. They did have a close win against Georgia College in the second game of their season on the road. 3-1 win compared to the 15-1 win they opened the season with. But Post is keeping things close to start the weekend series. Strike one in the outside corner. And it is also Valentine's Day tomorrow, so should be an interesting night. Hope you join us tomorrow night for the broadcast starting at 3 p.m. Do wonder if you'll need to have an earbud to listen into the stream if you're out on a Valentine's date. But if so, we'd love to have you here or at the ballpark, because that could be a good Valentine's location to pop out here. Maybe get a foul ball in the process as the count goes 1-2. That one missing from Beer. Leading off the frame, it's the number 38, Cardona. He's singled back in the 5th, the second hit of the game. And he would later score. But this time, he's going to go down swinging. And that'll be the first out of the inning.
Got him chasing.
Third strikeout for Beer out of the bullpen. His stuff really showcasing so far tonight. 4-2 Spartans, one away for Foster. Swing and a miss, strike one. Fouled away, strike two. Strikeout and walk so far for Foster. And also a really good sliding catch. With a runner at second, made a great play by the warning track to prevent Tampa from getting back on the board against Velasquez.
Yeah,
Looks
what
like,
a play.
Looks like he'll be returning for a third inning, I think, as well. No warm-up in the bullpen yet. 1-2, high and outside. Definitely think those two plays might be the best defensive plays we've seen all season here at the Birdcage, Landon. Even though they didn't even come from Spartan players.
Those were pretty good plays, Taylor.
Tampa will try to replicate later in the season some of their own as the count goes still 1-2. But you got to tip the cap to the post defense.
Absolutely.
Put in the work, put in the hustle that Coach Scold wants to see.
Let's see if he can top this one off.
The 1-2. Got him looking.
Got him. Right down the pipe.
4 strikeouts for Beer.
1 down, 2 to go.
Second out of the inning secured. Here comes Hunter Keller.
Oh,
Keller's gone down twice on strikeouts. Both of them came against Satin. It was the 4th and 9th respectively. But now he's facing the red-hot fireman, who's ironically on fire. And he's going to take him deep, but not deep enough. Actually, is it shallow enough? Yes, it's going to fall as a blooper. A 2-out single, and Soto's there to make sure he doesn't go to second. That awkward hop is scooped up at first, so it wouldn't have been an error advancing the runner, thankfully. But while it wasn't deep enough, it is shallow enough to put him on base. Keller with a blooper keeps the inning going. Here's Contreras. First hit of the season for Keller. 4th of the night for Post. They are now level in the hit column with Tampa. Strike one.
Right down the middle.
No fear from Sammy Beer.
And he goes.
Runner goes. And Irigoyen, as that one was low and away, just holds on to it. Smart play from Irigoyen. No use trying to rush a throw on a very bad pickup on that low slider, because you're more likely to do something bad and allow the runner to go even further. Instead, Keller gets his first steal of the season, the first steal for the Post offense this year, too. But now the count goes 1-2. Beer fires right back with a slider on the outside corner. The 2 strikeouts that he's had this inning have come on 1-2 counts. That's exactly where Beer wants Contreras. He's down 1-2. Almost goes as that one falls away. 2-2. Needed to get that a little bit closer to draw the whiff. Can Beer send us to the lucky 7? Yes, he can. That's high, but not deep enough. King tracks it and makes the catch. So he doesn't strike out the side. He does give up a hit, but he'll strand that base runner to keep Tampa up 4-2 through 6.5. It's stretch time at the Birdcage. It's the Lucky 7 at the University of Tampa. Stretch time of the birdcage has come and gone. Fans might want to stay on their feet, though, to cheer on the Tampa offense. It'll be Maddox King getting started as we get underway. The bottom of the 7th was lucky last time out for the Spartans. They put 5 on the board to end the day early on Sunday against Montevallo. It started with a solo shot by Braden Woodburn. Then Books and Carlson set the table. And eventually, Javi Soto plated both with a 2-run shot. It was followed up by A.J. Graham, ending the day 11-1 with a solo shot of his own. King didn't get a chance at the plate in that Sunday showdown in the 7th inning, so he was unable to improve on his 0-for-3 day. But now he'll lead off the bottom of the 7th. First pitch from Velasquez. Swing and a miss. 2 strong innings out of Velasquez. He has had runners in scoring position both times, but he's done a good job navigating out of trouble in danger. Wonder if Velasquez might turn into a higher leverage guy for posts in the season. And also, big question for Coach Urso is, who will get ready for the 9th inning? Beer's been looking good, but I think it'll be hard for him to go all 4 out of the bullpen. Here's the 1-1. Did King go? No, he did not. 2-1. Both bullpens will likely be pretty healthy for the games tomorrow. 3 p.m. and 12 p.m. the next 2 days will be the finale of this weekend series between Tampa and Post. That one missing low to make it 3-1. Maddox King could work a walk to start the inning. Top of the order, and Jordan Evans awaits. And as Tampa preps for their 4th trip through the order, I don't think they'll be making any changes at the plate. Here's the 3-1. Swing and a miss. Would have been ball 4. Fooled by the breaking ball. Payoff pitch now. Velasquez to King. Ripped to center. Will that get over his head? Going all the way back, making a Willie Mays style catch. Great work by Diaz, the freshman, showing off the glove. Every one of the outfielders has gone down to the ground to make a play like that today. 1 away here in the bottom of the 7th.
Now all outfielders got made a good diving catch this game.
That'll bring up Jordan Evans. That one not a diving catch from Diaz per se, even though it did end with him on the turf.
Yeah.
That was basically just a Willie Mays catch, if you remember.
Oh yeah, from Major League. Right. You remember that? You remember that scene?
They probably recreated. I don't remember if Willie Mays Hayes in that movie recreated, but I was more thinking at Polo Grounds when Mays made the really famous running catch backwards, kind of basket into the glove.
Oh, I remember that play too.
One of the big plays at Cooperstown. It probably has its own exhibit there, I'd imagine. It's such a historic play.
That was, oh my
and Willie
God.
Mays, he's the inspiration for Willie Mays Hayes. Major League's such a fun movie. It's got the late Bob Uecker as well.
Yeah.
Jack Ike's a huge Brewers fan if he's listening. Hi,
Charlie
Jack.
Sheen.
Yep. Great baseball movie. A lot of fun. That one's going to be ripped to center, but the reaction from Evans tells the story. That's an easy catch in right field.
But do you know it's a baseball movie that, that's, top notch? Like, you cannot, beat Field of Dreams, man.
That's a classic as well. Loved the Field of Dreams game a few years ago with the Yankees and White Sox.
Oh, my gosh.
Awesome stuff.
Great stuff.
I'm a Yankees fan, so I was disappointed with the walk-off home run. But at the same time, it's awesome that it ended with a walk-off home run. I mean, come on. Fairy tale ending for a fairy tale movie.
No, absolutely.
Special stuff. I do feel that they redid it recently with 2 different teams. Definitely hit a little bit weaker, but it's still a beautiful ballpark where they got it set up in Iowa.
It is.
Can't wait for them to return there eventually, and hopefully it'll be White Sox and Yankees again as the count goes 1-1 to Jesse Ponce. And who knows, if the White Sox are back there, maybe we'd see Jordan Leisure getting a chance out of the bullpen for that game. Back when the first Field of Dreams game was played, I'm pretty sure he was still with the Dodgers as that's scooped up at third, and he is out by half a step at first. 1-2-3 inning for Velasquez. Another good defensive play. And it's a quiet, lucky 7th for the Spartans. Keller to Cardona. Give Velasquez a 1-2-3 frame. They'll be back in the top of the 4-2 Tampa, top of the 8th. Beer returns to continue this outing. We'll have to see if he's really going for the save or just a 3-inning hold. Depends on how he's feeling. His pitch count not at a bad spot at the moment, 23 on the night. He's continued what has been a stellar start to his season. He's picked up 4 Ks already, adding to his season tally. Taylor Storley, Landon Wise bringing you the action for tonight's game. And we continue with a leadoff man, Evan Cornwell, who delivered a 2 RBI single against Robert Satin, one of the few people to slay Tampa's ace. Strike 1, high for the first pitch. He went down on 3 straight strikes in his first try against Satin, but then delivered a first pitch single in his second attempt. That one's going to be popped up. It is going to be playable for Graham. He's tracking all the way. So is Ponce.
Oh.
Ponce makes or not. He did not come up with that. Make it 0-2.
Just mistracked it.
It is a tough ball to get to.
It is.
Very far out in foul territory. But it does add a strike to the tally for Beer, so not a bad outing.
No.
Not a bad outcome of the foul ball. Well, they would have preferred out number 1. Beer can't get it yet on the next pitch. Make it 1-2. That's definitely a sigh of relief for Cornwell, who's a graduate transfer out of Delaware. But he's out on the very next pitch. Swing and a miss. And it is a 5th strikeout for Beer out of the bullpen tonight. 15 strikeouts for Tampa's Arms. So out of the 22 they have gotten today in terms of total outs, 15 have been strikeouts. That is pretty lethal stuff out of Tampa's strong guys, as that's going to be ball 1. Entering today, Beer had 8 strikeouts and 4 1/3. So
Wow.
make that 13. I might be foreshadowing 14. Well, that won't come on this at bat. Easy catch for Vanacek. 2 away.
1 to go.
Cohen steps up. He's had 2 of the strikeouts. Went down looking, went down swinging. And he went diving for a good catch as well. Even if Scold side can't get back in first, he's got to be absolutely ecstatic with the hustle on defense he has seen out of his outfielders. Making some highlight plays one after the other to keep Tampa from jumping to a larger lead. 46 runs entering today for Tampa. They've now scored 50 on the season. But they've now also had 8 conceded as the count goes 0-2 from Beer. Beer started his outing by striking out Joey Cohen. Maybe he ends it the exact same way. Got him.
Got him.
Strike
Yes.
3. Number 6. Inning over. That'll do it, 7.5. Tampa's got one more chance to extend their lead before Last Chance Saloon opens its doors in the top of the night. So we'll stay on the mound. Doesn't look like there are any defensive subs yet, but it will be Velasquez for a 4th inning. He'll be trying to close out the rest of the day, keeping the post bullpen entirely healthy. Pretty cool stuff out of the 23. A very strong outing from the junior out of Valley Stream, New York. So obviously, you got a lot of northeastern players for the post side who are coming here from Connecticut. Velasquez is not an exception. Part of the CACC All-Academic team last year and did feature 12 times with 6 starts last season for post. So now in a bit of a follower roll out of the bullpen, he's basically gone a strike or a start distance. Not doing a bad job either, holding Tampa scoreless. Strike 1 on his curveball. Back in high school, he had a 4.0 GPA on the Dean's List. Pretty good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Fouled away 0-2. He also had a high ERA last season, 7.34. But keep in mind, Post as a team had a 6.65 ERA. So when you have a number that's only about 8 points higher than the team average, or 80 points higher than the team average, it's not that bad, all things considered.
No.
They almost get Woodburn looking, but the count goes 1-2. I'm sure that's a call Velasquez would like to have back, but hey, you can't fight City Hall. 1-2 on the way to Woodburn. Third time I bring up that quote. Shout out Bruce Wozniak as the count goes 2-2. And speaking of Bruce Wozniak, he's had experience covering the Olympics before. We got the Olympics going on in Milan as well. A lot of fun sports. I know hockey will be a must-watch. Canada, America likely facing off again. 2-2 on the way. Ripped to left by Woodburn. There it goes. See ya. It's a solo shot for Woodburn. And Velasquez is not going to be flawless out of the bullpen tonight. Woodburn takes some yard. Second of the season for Braden Woodburn. And that is the second run he has scored tonight as a base runner. This time bringing himself home for his 6th RBI. Tampa's had 3 home runs so far against Post. They now lead 5-2. Jake Books 0 for 3. Can he get on board? Strike 1. Books was potentially robbed of an RBI in a very good play by Foster last time out in right field. I know it's got to feel good for Woodburn to homers. That one's called strike 2. Woodburn was hit by a pitch against Velasquez in his first try against him. Books hits one to center. I don't know if it's got the distance. It does not. Diaz is there, 2 away. Good swing by Books, but he'll have to keep searching for his first homer of the year. 1 away for Johander Irigoyen. He came out of Seminole State Community College in 2024, joining the team in 2025. The Citrus Conference, part of the NJCAA D3, has been a pretty big home of future Spartan stars. Irigoyen is not an exception. Good scooping, or good diving grab by Alfala, but doesn't have time for the throw. A single with 1 away for Irigoyen. Another good defensive play, but an impossible throw to first. Alfala just eats the ball. Vanacek with a double. He was so close to a home run, but I knew he was satisfied with an extra base hit to go on the board today. He was also hit by a pitch back in the 4th inning. If he replicated a double, he could bring Irigoyen home. Irigoyen now a 3-hit day. He is definitely Tampa's player of the game, and it is hard to win player of the game honors when your starter gets 10 strikeouts. But I think 2 home runs will do the trick. Well, maybe just give the battery both player of the game nods. Because not only did he work with Satin to get those 10 Ks, he also gave them 3 runs of support. Tampa's left 4 on the base path. They would not like Irigoyen to be the 5th. 5-2 Tampa. That one high, and ducking out of the way is Vanacek. Good idea to choose self-preservation there. A fastball to the dome is not necessarily the ideal outcome there. Even though you get a free base, you get a little injury, so not ideal. 5-2 Tampa, as our scoreboard is unfortunately incorrect for some reason, as the count goes 3-1.
5-2.
3-1 count. Will this be the first walk from Velasquez? Yes, it will. He's had a hit by pitch, but this is the first time someone's actually gotten a base on balls against him. 2 on, 1 out. Double play opportunity is still there as Javi Soto steps up. A.J. Graham also on deck. Two on, 1 out. First pitch from Velasquez to Soto. Strike 1, and that's a good pitch to get after a walk. Tampa's already brought home 1 here in the bottom of the 8th. They'd love to add to the tally, swing and a miss, 0-2. One and 2. Good take by Soto. Fastball high and away. Velasquez probably could work his way into the rotation after a great outing out of the bullpen like he has tonight. And Soto trying to end it on a sour note. If that one's hit foul and over the net. If that was a little bit to the right, well, we'd be looking at an 8-2 ball game. Soto did go yard earlier in the season against Montevallo. 1-2 on the way from Velasquez. High, ball 2. The infield not playing super far in. A little bit deeper than Tampa's infield usually does for those double play attempts. The second baseman is covering close to second as that one's flared into right field. No one's able to cover it. Tampa's going to have them loaded for A.J. Graham.
Juiced.
Bases are indeed juiced. Irigoyen at third. Vanacek at second. Soto at first. And do you let Velasquez try to get out of the jam? Or if that's their closer warming up out of the bullpen, do you bring him in to try to keep it a 3-run game? There is some notes from the coach in the dugout, but he isn't walking to the mound. Velasquez will get his bases loaded at bat with 1 away. 2 strikeouts for Graham today, including his first attempt against Velasquez. Swing and a miss on the first pitch. He wanted the heater. He got the heater. He was a little late. 0-1. Just high, 1-1. Good take from Graham. Velasquez has to be careful, though. If he falls too far behind, we'll have to give Graham a challenge pitch, and Graham has been pretty hot leading through last weekend. 1-1. Graham on the ground. It is in fair play. They'll get the force at home, but no time for the double play. Bases still loaded, but crucially a second out added on the fielder's choice. Maddox King with the bases full, looking to get on the board. No margin for error now for the Spartans. A sacrifice wouldn't bring home a run. They need a hit, they need a walk, they need a hit by pitch to bring home a run. An error helps too. King's first pitch hit to right field, but it's in range for Foster. A great escape by Velasquez. The solo shot is all Tampa will get. 2 hits, 3 hits, they leave him loaded. 1 run scores. They carry a 5-2 lead. Entering the top of the 9th. Last Chance Saloon when we come back. 5-2 Tampa leads. Beer looking to close the day with his final inning out of the bullpen. Brain Nelson, a former Tampa closer, was known for having some pretty deep bullpen appearances sometimes. And Beer doing the job today. After going 3 1/3 in Game 2 against Montevallo, he is entering for his 4th inning against Post. Heart of the order, Alfala, Hartman, and Cardona up next. And I wonder, with his ability to get stretched out, maybe Beer graduates to the rotation for the Spartans too. But at the same time, you don't necessarily want to lose your closer.
No.
0-1 from Beer. 0-2 as that one's tipped foul. It is a pinch hitter for Alfala. Post have brought in the number 22, Evan Ergolavich. Strike 3. 1 away in the top of the 9th on 3 straight strikes. They make it 7 out of the bullpen for Beer in terms of strikeouts. If it isn't broke, don't fix it. Here comes Hartman, who stays in the game. So after the unsuccessful pinch hit appearance for Ergolavich, Hartman's back again for strike 1. Looks like they added a Wii Sports sound to the PA. They just played a foul ball sound effect across the stadium. Let's use it more often, guys. It's fun. Adds to the atmosphere.
For sure.
0-1 on the way. Strike 2. Tough call there. Hartman's not a fan of it, but Spartans fans certainly are. Beer couldn't strike out Hartman last time with 2 strikes. 2-2 count ended in a pop-out. That one's going to be ripped to first. It is going to be out number 2 on what could have been strike 3. So good ending to the at-bat either way. 3-1 ground out. 2 outs in the 9th. Michael Cardona due up, but are they making yet another change to the bench? Doesn't look like for now. It's going to be ripped to second, and that'll be all she wrote. Sammy Beer, 7 strikeouts, 4 scoreless frames for his 2nd save of the season as Tampa holds on to win 5-2. A big start to the weekend. With Valentine's Day out of the corner, you imagine that Beer will get some chocolates from the rest of the team. Thanks for him getting out of 4 scoreless frames. And he did get into a little bit of trouble in the 7th. He gave up a hit. That was all Post could muster against him. A stellar appearance for the junior, following a stellar start out of Robert Satin, who went 5 innings with 2 runs, 1 earned, 10 Ks. He jumps to 3-0 on the season. Almost flawless, but still dominant. The lefty ace continuing to shine on Friday nights. Portes gets handed the loss. Good day for him, though, showcasing his stuff, doing a good job against the best team in the nation. And Velasquez also stellar until that final inning, holding Tampa to just 1 hit in the first 3 frames before Tampa finally got on the board. But Velasquez escaped again to get out of the jam. You can call him Harry Houdini with how many times he got out of tight spots. Good work for Velasquez. Maybe he graduates to the post rotation after tonight. But the real stars of the day certainly came from Tampa's offense. Braden Woodburn hit twice, and then he hit a home run. You also saw 2 home runs out of tonight's player of the game, Joandra Irigoyen. A perfect battery mate to Beer and Satin, and he follows it up with a little bit of offensive firepower as well.
Yeah.
So that'll do it from the action of the Birdcage. Landon, thoughts on the win?
Great win. I thought they played all around great, just offense and defensively. Man, especially just on the bats today, just three home runs, right? For today.
3 home runs.
Wow. Just overall great action from those 2 or 3 diving catches from the opposite team, and yeah, just a fun game to watch, and just overall great game from the Tampa Spartans. So thank you for having me for this game. It was great to be on this headset talking with you, and yeah, I'm looking forward to being on here tomorrow at 3.
We'll see you then. And to every viewer tuning in at home, make sure you do tune in tomorrow, or better yet, just come to the game in person because the atmosphere of the Birdcage is hard to beat. Final score, Spartans 5, Post 2, Tampa. Make it 8 in a row to start the season 6-0 for 20